Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome to this
Good
fifth
afternoon, sir.
lecture of CIIPS. So, how are all of you doing?
All well, sir.
Great. So, I noticed a lot of us had responded to the problem identification or a problem proposal challenge. We gave a few ideas and then many new problem statements you had posted. So, thank you for doing that. And what we will do is that we will use these big thematic areas to identify. So today we will use these big thematic areas to identify products or services where innovation can happen, where we could think of startups, where we could think of new products, where we could think of new apps, anything, okay, new softwares. And then tomorrow onwards, we will start to work in our projects. So tomorrow we will also form teams. But today we will use certain ideation tools, just like we had used 635 and trigger in the earlier session. We will use certain ideation tools to identify interesting problem statements out of these thematic areas. So are all of us up for it? Any questions from the previous session or anything that you would want to ask?
No, sir. We can move.
Great. So let's start our session then. And okay, so I'm bringing up the various problems that were listed on the Google Classroom there for all of us to reflect upon. Okay, we will spend about 5 minutes to 10 minutes to review these major themes. And if you have any questions, if any of the theme is not clear, please feel free to ask. I'm just flashing these slides and reading them out. If there is something which is not clear, please ask the questions. So the first theme that we also proposed in the classroom was improving last mile connectivity in Union cities, focus on Delhi, where we say that how do we bring e-rickshaws, rickshaws and other last mile connectivity media on Uber/Ola platforms. What are the challenges there? So we brainstorm on that. Then cleaning up the North Indian smoke chamber. So all of North India, not just Delhi, all of North India actually suffers in a smoke chamber kind of condition in the months of October to December. All of us who are in North India experience this. So how to handle this? How to handle the parali burning problem? What can be done? What else can be done to reduce the smoke chamber across North India? Enhancing experience and learning in online coursework / learning, where we have pre-recorded lectures. How to enhance learning from them? Then maintaining privacy in 24/7 connected world. How to securely store our passwords, private keys, and blah blah blah. Then how to manage road traffic in cities, such that not only is the vehicular movement faster, but also pedestrians are safer. How to preserve soil quality, prevent soil degradation by overuse of chemicals. That is one aspect. But you may say, oh, simple answer is go organic. Okay, then why are people not going organic? So think about that. And we need solutions. Okay, we have to focus on solutions. And let those solutions not be policy solutions. Oh, the government should make it mandatory. No, that won't work. As engineers, we cannot hide behind policies and say, oh, the policy has to be like that. We have to make it doable. Technically, it should be possible. Technically, we have to make it doable so that this becomes a reality. Then I think there were 2 suggestions around managing stray animals, which was about enhancing the quality of life of those animals and limit nuisance for communities, whether it is farming community or city communities, how to limit nuisance from these animals. Any questions on these topics? Any clarification that you seek? Yeah, they are self-explanatory.
That's quite understandable.
Great. Yeah, because these are problems we are facing day in and day out. Then how to improve agricultural supply chain, agricultural produce supply chain, because today a lot of the supply chain is pretty long, and a lot of profit that a farmer could have earned is transferred to middlemen and traders there. One problem that was posed was how to increase the population that uses banking, because a large part of Indian population, even though they may have an account or something, they do not really use banking services. How to enhance well-being of population at large? There were 2 or 3 queries or suggestions or questions around that, which we've kind of tried to club into one. Diabetes, loneliness, obesity are very prevalent in advanced countries, and we see a lot of it happening in India also today. So it should not happen that India becomes India follows the disease route of advanced countries faster than the economic route. It should not happen like that, but that's what it seems to happen is happening. Then how to improve women and child safety, how to reduce impact or damage in the event of a natural disaster, how to increase visibility of available jobs in hyper local settings. So there were 2 or 3 queries or 2 or 3 problem statements which are proposed about how to empower women, and then there was something about people have lost their jobs in the pandemic, how to make them have better job prospects and so on. So we thought this could be a generic statement which covers both kinds of topics. And then how to make justice more accessible, so understanding of law and how to speed up trials. This was also one of the problems that was posed there. So any questions?
So I actually forgot to add my question. I saw the post on Google Classroom. So one more question that I had was like I live in Gurgaon, and there near my so where I live, so there's a main road, and there's a community of people who sell handicrafts and all these statues, but they live in very dirt poor conditions, like on the main road, like besides it. So I was thinking how we can like put in big corporations, because big corporations also need labor, and somehow incorporate them so that they can at least have a better lifestyle than the one they're having right now.
Okay. So how we are going to use these problems, let us just look into that, and then we can see if you would want to use this in your breakout room. So now what we will do is we will go into our breakout rooms, and in those breakout rooms, we will do a joint exercise, an exercise that all of us will do together. That exercise will be brainstorming on finding a solution or a set of solutions to these problems only. As a group, you have to identify which one you want to work on. So this list of 14 is actually much bigger than the number of breakout rooms we will have. So I know that some of these problems will anyways be left out, and if you want to bring in something new as a group, I have no problems with that. Okay, this is just a template. This is just a set of problems that we felt the first 4 ones were the ones that we proposed, and the remaining are the ones that you proposed. Okay, but it's there. You need not limit your choice of problem from within these 14. Okay. However, as we proceed through today's class, you will see that we will identify some product ideas or some process improvements or something. We'll identify some stuff, and then from tomorrow onwards we will form our project teams, and then we will start to work on 1 or 2 of those product ideas or process ideas or something like that. Okay, once that is frozen, then once you enter into that zone, then it is best to work on that 1 or 2 problems that your group has identified. For today, we are just heading towards or approaching towards identification or creation of project problem statements, and you can introduce a new problem, no problem, no issues there. Is that okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Great. So what are we going to do now? So now we will go into breakout rooms. When you go into the breakout room, you need to do one or two things. First, you identify a leader. Then you identify which problem you want to work on. So I have not written that statement. Let us say that we identify which problem of these, as a group, we identify which problem of these 14 or any new problem we want to work on as a group. Then you list a few favorite superheroes or roles. Now, give me some examples of superheroes. Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Hanuman,
Shaktiman.
Ravan, Shaktiman, Iron Man, yes. So people who have supernatural powers, we have read stories about them. We have, they have different powers, simply, and they are superheroes. Another set of roles that you need to identify is people who are real, who may be living or may be dead now, but who are real, but who could be funny, who could be very profound in their thought process, who could be, basically, them. They are well-known people. And for example, one of the roles, if you look at funny politicians, could be Lalu Prasad Yadav. So when we did this exercise, when I did this exercise for the first time, I had chosen Lalu Prasad Yadav as the role. For the superhero role, I had chosen Hanuman for myself. So you as a group, you identify a few superhero roles, superheroes, and okay. So some groups will work on superheroes, some groups will work with roles, or you can use mix of them. Identify some key people who are well known. You could think of Elon Musk, you could think of Bill Gates, you could think of Steve Jobs, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Dalai Lama, anyone. Okay, you think of some interesting roles, and then as a group, you identify who will play the following roles in your team. We need an actor who will play the role of superhero or whatever other person you have identified. We need a coach who would assist the actor in living that role. And we would need a scribe. So suppose suppose you listed down 10 names in the step 2. After you identify the actor, or as you identify the actor and the coach, be careful that actor and coach should be most comfortable with the superhero that you choose to play. You might have read about them, you must have watched movies or something. You know this character well. That is what is most important. The actor is going to play the character, and the coach is going to help the actor enter into the skin of the character. The scribe will list down all the ideas that will come. So actor and coach, what they will do is they will mute themselves from the breakout room, and they will meet separately. They can call each other, they can start a Google Meet, they can do whatever else. They will meet separately, and they will just discuss amongst themselves the powers or the ideology or the thought process that this character has. Okay, and given this thought process, given this ideology, given this power, how would this problem that you have identified as a group be solved? So you just do 5 minutes of local brainstorm, the two of you. The scribe and other members in your breakout room, while the 5 minutes this actor and coach are away on the mute, whatever, you plan interview questions. The intent of these interview questions is not to pull the leg of the character there. It is not to pull the person down. The intent is that you also think of ideas. Oh, if this is an air pollution problem, then what are we talking about? Okay, so itna 1,000 square kilometer of area in NCR or in North India burns their parali. What is happening? So you guys come up with the facts which can help find the right answers, or which can help us as a team to arrive at some interesting ideas to solve the problem. Okay, you can yourself propose. You can, for example, ask a question like, Iron Man, using the powers that you have, do you think we could do this? So you are proposing a solution. You are proposing an idea that, okay, तुम्हारे पास ये powers हैं, can you do this? So you can also propose solutions, or you can simply point them. You can just provide facts. As an interview panel, you are not there to rag them, rag the actor and the coach. As an interview panel, you are there to simply search for a good answer, search for a good solution. Okay. Then after the 5 minutes of this coaching, actor coaching is taken care of, and the interview panel has arrived at their questions, you start the interview. The panel asks leading questions and the actor responds. The coach cannot directly respond to the panel. Okay, the coach can only prompt the actor that, hey, you have this power. Why don't you use this power to solve the problem? Huh? So the coach, again, he's trying to solve the problem, but he's not directly responding to the panel. He's simply prompting something to the coach, to the actor there. And the scribe records all the ideas, whether they are in the questions or they are in the answers, whatever discussion is happening. You have to kind of try to write down everything, the questions and the answers, everything you have to write down. Okay, that is the importance. That is the role of the scribe there. Now, where to write down? You may use Excel, you may use paper, you may use mind map, whatever you are most comfortable with. But the important thing is nothing should be lost. And then once this is done, we will come out of the breakout rooms. When we meet here again, we will synthesize any one breakout room's idea map. The ideas that have been collected by any one of the breakout rooms, you will volunteer. Okay, we will synthesize one of that, so that you know how to synthesize. This is just to give you a demo of how to synthesize. And then you go back into your breakout rooms and you synthesize your ideas. Okay, the ideas that you as a group had come up during that interview. Finally, we come back to the main room and the scribe can present the synthetic ideas, or not top level kind of ideas that your group identified. This was a long process. I spoke a lot. We need to do this now. Any questions?
So basically, the actor who is playing a superhero, they have to use whatever the problem statement we choose, solve that problem statement using their superpowers, like the powers they
Not
have.
just them, Lavanya. Not just them, Lavanya. Everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
Everyone
like
in the room. Everyone in the room is aware of those powers and is trying to say that, okay, we have no such limitations as gravity, for example.
Got it.
How do we solve the problem? Okay, so it is not the responsibility of the superhero only. All of us are playing a very key role.
I got it. I was just asking about like how the problem is gonna be solved. Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
We are going beyond the limitations of our present human setting. Okay.
So there can be multiple superheroes and only one coach.
No, there is only one interview that we will be able to do. So only one actor and one superhero we have to choose.
Okay, separately.
We don't have that kind of a time that we do multiple interviews.
Okay, so one actor or one superhero, or one actor and one superhero.
No, one actor who will play the superhero role.
Okay, got it.
Actor is one amongst you, है? Just like coach is one amongst you, actor is one amongst you. The actor will play the role of the superhero or that well-known person that we are talking about.
So can you explain the interview thing once again?
What do I explain again?
So the interview thing.
The interview thing? Okay. So we identified the superhero and the coach and the role that the superhero will play, whether he will play Iron Man or whether he will play Mahatma Gandhi or whether he will play Hitler, whatever role, or Hanuman or whatever role you identified. So the superhero or the actor and the coach, they kind of exit the discussion in the breakout room now. They are a part of the breakout room. Please don't exit the meeting. They just exit the discussion. They put the meeting on mute and they separately sit together in a call. They can have a Google Meet from their phones, or they can have a call, a regular phone call, and they work out they enter into the skin of the character. Okay, and how this character, they just the two of them brainstorm how this character would probably solve these questions, solve this problem. Okay, and while the actor and coach are doing this for 5 minutes, at that time the panel would decide on the strategy of the interview as to, okay, there are these 4 dimensions of this problem, and we will ask questions on this dimension first, then I will ask question on that dimension first, then the third person asks question on the third dimension, and we will help the superhero by adding more data points. We will Google simultaneously, we will do whatever, but we want to enrich the brainstorm session with as many facts, figures, and as many ideas as possible. Okay, so the interview and the scribe in the meantime is only writing down facts, figures, ideas, whatever it is. Is this clearer, Lafpreet?
Yes, sir.
Sir, an interviewer will be there from our team only.
Yeah. So we will break out into rooms in such a way that every team has around 6 people there.
So 6 people, one will be coach, one will be superhero, who will play who will act as an actor, one will be interviewer, and what about rest three?
No. So one will be coach, one will be actor, one will be scribe. The remaining 3 are the interview panel.
Okay, got it, sir.
It's an interview panel.
So the one who are interviewing can't participate in the discussion of solution, or they will just ask questions?
No, they can. Bhai, to maine kaha, you can propose solutions. Do you think with your powers you can do it like this?
Okay.
You can say, do you think this kind of a product can be made possible by you? Can you create this kind of a product? So in a sense, what you are telling is, okay, this product solves the problem. Can we create this?
Okay.
So you can prompt answers. So again, as I said, it is not that the onus of finding solutions is on the person who is playing the role of a superhero. No, all of us have to work towards it. And if the superhero, for example, is unable to arrive at the solution, then you prompt. Do you think this kind of a solution would work? Basically, as a team, we want as many ideas as possible. That is what brainstorming is. Anything else?
Sir, problem can be anything, right?
Yeah, we just said those 14, we listed down those 14 problems, and then could be something more.
Sir, can you please show that problems once again?
Yeah, we will just go to them. So don't worry, even if you do not remember, I am sure people in your team would remember. Out of these, something must have touched each one of you in some way or the other, and I'm sure you would want to work on something like that. Hana?
So will it be possible to for us to form breakout rooms right now with respective teams that we want to go ahead in the project? So this will help. Okay.
No, not yet. It's too early. It's too early. So is it okay? Should we enter into breakout rooms now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me just refresh the rules for a divergence session. Be open to a wide range of perspectives. Generate as many options, ideas as possible. Even if you are not getting good ideas, or even if you know that there is some obvious limitation of an idea, don't hesitate to speak it out. Encourage wild ideas. Create a humorous atmosphere. Make the interviews funny, if at all, if possible. Uh, Emphasize the positive aspect of solutions. Be open to other ideas, or be open to hitchhiking. So you said something, the interviewer may say something else. You hitchhike on each other's ideas and create more ideas. Accept other people's ideas. Ask provocative questions. As a panel, you can ask provocative questions and accept other people's ideas. Don't judge. And in fact, as I said, hitchhike, build on other people's ideas. Okay. So with this refresh of the divergent session rules, let's go into breakout rooms. Just give me a minute. So all of you must have received an invite to join a breakout room. Saurabh, did you receive an invite to join a breakout room yet?
Sir, actually, I was in a meet of PhD, so I just not
Okay.
aware like what was that.
Yeah, I've assigned you to a breakout room. You can go into the breakout room. Arjun, you want to join your breakout room? People there are waiting for you. Who is the leader? Sorry.
It's Shanvi Didi.
Okay. Shanvi is the leader. And who is the actor?
So actually, we were deciding upon that only.
Arey, leader, what are you doing? You have to keep the timeline.
Yes, sir. Actually, problem statement and the other things have been decided. We were
Okay.
deciding.
What's the problem statement?
Sir, about natural disaster, like superhero.
Okay, how to reduce the impact of natural disasters.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And identified a superhero yet? No.
yes,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Wow. And who is playing the role?
So that's what we were discussing. Who has watched the movies many times? Everyone is claiming that they have watched it multiple times.
Quickly identify the play actor and the coach, and then get into this question answer session, creating these questions.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Chaliye. All the best. All the best.
Thank you.
Basically, I can use my robots. I can use like I have an army of robots, so I can assign one robot to each constituency to each constituency, and my robots can automate this process of finding out like who needs homes and how many homeless people are there in each constituency.
So based on your first solution that you are providing, that you will be giving donations. So there are some orphanage homes, even they doesn't provide so much resources to the people. And they just doesn't use that much amount for the people that you're providing to use them for. So how would you?
I couldn't understand your question. Can you repeat?
I'm saying that there are different kinds of orphanage homes, where people take them in.
कि इसको हम फ्यूचर, क्योंकि मेरे पास टाइम स्टोन है और मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया कि मैं आगे भी जा सकता हूँ, पीछे भी जा सकता हूँ, तो इसका मैंने सोचा है कि मैं फ्यूचर में जाके सारी इलेक्ट्रिक टेक्नोलॉजी प्रेजेंट में ले आऊंगा और सारी गाड़ियां इलेक्ट्रिक हो जाएंगी। और क्योंकि मेरे पास रियलिटी स्टोन भी और मैं रियलिटी को कैसे भी चाहूँ अपने हिसाब से बना सकता हूँ, तो मैंने ये भी सोचा है कि अब से गाड़ियां वाटर पे चलेंगी और कोई CO2 इमिशंस नहीं होएगी।
Okay. तो रचित तुमने सब्सक्राइब कर लिया है क्या जितने सारे जो
हाँ
आई टी
ब्रो, तब से वही कर रहा हूँ।
अच्छा 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 हाँ नहीं बताना अगर तुमको कुछ टाइम चाहिए तो
क्या आपके पास और कुछ
बहुत सारे
Yes, friends. How was your experience in the breakout rooms?
Nice.
Nice. So
amazing, sir.
great. So which
It was really good.
which group is starting to share their list of ideas so that we can do some synthesis of those ideas? Which group will volunteer for that?
I guess group 2, if we all are
Yeah,
agree.
okay.
Okay. So who is the scribe of group 2? Why don't you share your screen?
Yeah. I'm just trying to, but this says host has disabled participant.
Try again.
Okay. Okay, so we were working on.
Yeah, just let us just wait and see. Okay, I think almost everyone is back here now. So friends, what we are trying to do now is we are trying to synthesize or identify some interesting ideas from whatever the discussion happened in room number 2. So Amit is the scribe there, and Amit will define the tell about the problem that they worked on and the kind of ideas, and then we can just synthesize. Okay, yes, please.
Okay, so we worked on the problem, which was how to reduce the impact of the natural disasters. We chose Iron Man as our superhero. Karanjot played the role of the Iron Man. Coach was Anuj. And I don't remember who was the leader. Sorry, I just forgot.
Deepak.
Deepak. Okay, fine, Deepak. Sorry. And then, so as a group, we initially discussed about different powers of the Iron Man. Different kinds of weapons that it can make, and multiple robots. I mean, the power of multiplying the robots and power to remote control things, and so on and so forth. Then we also discussed on different types of disasters, and then put them in the context of India, which are the ones that those are important for us. So, and then we kind of frame the questions. So in our discussion, one of the things that we came out, so it was essentially around tsunami, cyclones, all that stuff. One of the questions was around that we do experience such things on an yearly basis. So what can an Iron Man do about it? So Iron Man's response was majorly around two things. One was prevention, and the other was damage control. So for the prevention, he talked about different kinds of systems based on AI, which can detect anomalies, even work with the government agencies, and then issue warnings, so that the disaster would happen anyways, but we could
more
actually
prepared.
kind of get prepared for it. And I think that kind of circles back to the damage control, where the Iron Man also had some interesting drone system in addition to the Zarvet AI system, and which can distribute packages, food, and it can even scan houses too. So one of the things that came out was that things are spaced in terms of space and time. So the prevention system, and along with the damage control system, can identify which places are affected at what points in time. So then the Iron Man can then also work. He has a fleet of armor, he has lots and lots of money, which is coming from selling his patents to the army. So he can use his money, but he can also work with the government to kind of get this information, and then have an optimized mechanism of doing damage control. Then one thing was about richness. So yeah, he's a rich guy, but I think the key point here was that things are localized, as I said earlier, and if we can focus in terms of time and space, I think we can do a much more efficient job. Then the other point was about disaster in terms of flood damaging. So again, the good thing was that the Iron Man has very, very interesting drone systems, and those are powered by the satellite. So that was truly amazing capability of the Iron Man. Then the other question was, okay, that is all, that is fine, but what about the property damage and the damage caused to the roads, etc. So the good thing about Iron Man is that he can even so Iron Man at the same time respects that we have to respect nature. So I think there are things we can't avoid, but one interesting thing that he said was that he also has ideas for projects where he can create some temporary jobs for the people who have lost their money or jobs, so that instead of them sitting idle while all the other infrastructure is being made, they can contribute to the society and even earn and do all that stuff. Then he also mentioned about a stock industry. I don't know whether I captured that correctly, but stocks. He has access to stock industry research people, and he can also work on resistant buildings and household structures, which are like, for example, where there are floods, we can build things which are more flood resistant and so on and so forth. Then Iron Man also emphasized about the capital, in terms of expanding his wealth. So he has a very transformational arch reactor, and it's energy efficient and blah blah blah. And he continues to build on that and then sell the IP rights to the army around the world, so that he can make huge sums of money, which can be then invested in research and then eventually help people. So he has his own circle of uh, money circulation. Then the last thing was about wildfires that can generate air pollution. So what can we do about it? What can Iron Man do about it? So there, the Iron Man, was saying that the existing AI capability that he has, he can use it to again work with the government and find out the right places where the purifiers are installed. So currently the Iron Man doesn't have that capability of making one, so he was tending towards using competence from other institutes and other engineering community to build master class air purifiers. But where he can work with them is to identify where all can we place those to have them efficient.
Wow, great. That's a huge range of ideas. So as a team now, do you think that in this brainstorm you have identified some product ideas that could be startups, for example, or that could be worth solving as research problems or something like that? Are you able to see such ideas in this list, all of you, and also
Yes,
as a
sir.
team?
Yes.
Let's have a quick look. Amit, can you just scroll up? We can just have a quick look from the top to the bottom then and see where are their ideas which could be products. Okay, so so different shapes and sizes of robots to help in a natural disaster. For example, drone systems. So even if they are, so what should be the shape of the drones? Should they be flexible? So this could be one set of, this could be one kind of a startup that one could think of, or one kind of a research problem. Without physically suit, what does this mean? Without physically suit?
Without physically wearing the suit of Iron Man, the robots can work.
Okay, so using robots for evacuation / release material distribution and so on. I think that is listed down there also, but yeah. So drones and robots, that is still the continuing theme. Let's go a little further down. And okay, so this clearly is something, detecting anomalies in weather data or in richer scale data or something like that, which is already some aspect of some part of it is already active, used by governments. But can we have it more local, hyper local, or can we use weather data or water level data in different say rivers and say, okay, I'm expecting a flash flood within the next 2 days. If the rain continues like this, then you can expect a flash flood. So already take some proactive evacuation steps and stuff like that. So this could be another product or research idea. Yeah, so evacuation plan, that in itself, if for example, even if we say that for triple IT Delhi building, we say that there is an evacuation plan that is available for every floor. But in the event of a fire or in the event of some such mishap, one particular door may be closed, the lights are off, everything is off. How do you then, for example, say that, okay, this exit is closed, people should not use that, go in another direction? So how can it be made self-evident? आज क्या होता है, if there is a particular exit that is closed, either there is a guard who has to stand there, or people enter that exit, they realize, oh, there is fire ahead, they then return. There is no self-alarming or self-evident system, self-informing system, which tells that this exit is no longer valid. So what can be done? Can we create a safety mechanism? Can we create some IoT based, whatever, we have such wide range of technologies. Can there be a method through which we can make our exit plans, evacuation plans more robust? Then, identifying that, okay, there are 2 people still left in this hall. They need to be evacuated. Today, we have to actually search each and every place if there are people missing somewhere. Can there be some mechanism that location of people is tracked? Then distribute. Yeah, this is again, we can say robots and drones to deliver relief packages. Report the government about the information. Okay. What is exoskeleton?
You talked about some kind of an exoskeleton. I don't really.
Exoskeleton.
Exoskeleton.
So Iron Man has a powered exoskeleton powered by arc reactors.
Yeah.
So it provides great energy, so you can lift heavy boulders in case of earthquake scenarios or a building has collapsed. So we can use that, and it's also autonomous in nature at times. So you can even use unmanned exoskeletons to help people from trouble or something.
One thing could be, can your robots carry such material, which is not just relief material but also recovery material? Exoskeleton, EXO.
Okay.
Like that of a crab. So can we think of materials, or can we think of such designs which are very compact, can be put on the drone, but you go there? So it's a kind of a relief kit. Can we think of a relief kit which can be loaded onto a drone, and then as you go to the site of a disaster, this can open up into a big set of equipment which can help us to remove boulders and stuff like that. So strength of materials. So materials would also come into picture, and then their design as to how to fold and how to pack it in a compact manner that we could carry it on a drone itself. That could be one thing. Then energy efficient arc reactor. No need to charge much. Okay, so much. How can we have? So if you think of this arc reactor, we are talking that this is portable. He's carrying it with himself all the time, and it can generate super energy. So can we talk of super capacitors that could store lots of charge and give me lots of power when I need it? Or can I think of much more energy efficient, power efficient fuel cell batteries? So you're not thinking of an arc reactor just yet, but the function that arc reactor is doing, can we think of alternatives which could do the same function? Then, so you're getting the feel. We are now, after this discussion has happened, we are now going line by line on these ideas that are there and analyzing, is there a product idea hidden somewhere? Is there a service idea hidden somewhere? Is there a research problem hidden somewhere? And we identify those. Okay, is it okay now we break out, go back into our rooms again, and for the conversations that we have had, we identify such ideas in the next say 7 minutes, then we come back to the main room. Any questions?
Sir, could you explain what exactly we have to do now?
So over here, when we were looking at this minutes of or the scribed ideas of group 2, what were we doing? We were kind of adding some details or synthesizing this discussion so that we could identify, oh, this is a probable startup idea. This is a probable research idea. This is a probable product idea. This is a product improvement idea. That was what we were doing in the class just now.
Yes.
So that is what you have to do with your conversations, the ones that you had in your breakout room. So I will send you back to your breakout rooms where you had these conversations, and you now sit back with that conversation and analyze it. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is it possible to allow screen sharing, because then we can have a better discussion?
Yeah, it is now possible for everyone to
For all?
share.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. So you will get the invite to your breakout rooms now.
All the and in these directions, which seemed some of them were like very unfeasible to even look at.
So again, Rachit, in a divergence session, you do not look at feasibility just yet.
Yeah.
Why they are unfeasible? We will use TRIZ. We will use many tools to see how to make them feasible.
Yes, sir.
As of now, you have to suspend judgment and list down every idea. You have to just go ahead and say, okay, I want a product which can, let us say, absorb all the soot from the air within 5 minutes.
Right.
So, okay, the product may not be able to do it in 5 minutes, but what if you are able to come up with something, a material or some mechanism through which, okay, not 5 minutes, but 5 days, something can happen. It will not happen like magic, but at least you're starting to think of a solution there.
Yes, sir.
So when you're in a divergent session, you suspend judgment. आप ये मत सोचो कि ideas were more based on his or her superpowers. Fine, that was the intent, that you break the limitations.
Right.
And then you expand your solution search, the area in which you will search for solutions. That is the entire intent of this. Okay.
Yes.
So others, how was the experience? What did you see? What did you experience?
It was nice to think of ideas outside of limitations.
Mm-hmm. And?
Sir, it was a process of thinking, like from starting from the problem to solutions to what are the options to our possible product that we can arrive at.
How to approach a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we could actually change our perspective and think about how that hero might think.
Yeah, seemingly intractable problem. इतनी बड़ी problem है, but you can still now think of it because you are not a superhero.
Yeah, and
So in this way, like we did not face all the knowledge blocks that we have like identified. Actually.
Yeah. So you realize we are thinking like someone else. We are going past our conditioning, cultural inertia. We are going past our fear of ridicule. Oh, ये तो राहुल गांधी कह रहा है. मैं थोड़ा ना कह रहा हूँ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Stuff like that. So all that is able to happen because you're thinking like someone else. This is a very powerful tool to drop the boundaries, drop the limitations, and think beyond. Okay. What else?
So thinking in different dimensions, basically to achieve for a solution. Different people arriving at the solution at two different kind of approach. So we just united and brought a single out product out.
Okay. So were you as teams able to arrive at some product ideas? Do you think there are something interesting that your group came up with? At least one or two things?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any group which did not have anything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so every group could identify something. Great. So see, this think like someone else schemes. They are very powerful schemes because they help us. And were the sessions lighthearted for you? Were you having fun?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. So if it's a group of friends or colleagues who've been working together, this really makes lots of sense to, even if you've not been working together for a long time, if it's a new team, this exercise can be a team building exercise also. While you're creating ideas, you're also, getting to know each other better and you're having fun together. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir, definitely.
And, very unusual off the wall ideas, which you would otherwise not talk about. You may think them to be very radical. Like one team was using the role of Harry Potter and things that they will not otherwise talk about. Now, in the name of magic, they were there on the table. And since they were there on the table, now we could think of how can technology make this magic reality. See, come to think of it, 200 years earlier, if someone would say that, okay, I would press a point on the wall and there would be light in a dark room, what would people think of it? People would call it magic, na? But today we have electricity and electric switches. We just turn on a switch and the whole room lights up. Right? So something which is not technologically feasible today is what you call magic. It is the role of engineers to make that magic a reality. Things which appear to be like superpowers. Removing a 1-ton boulder within 5 minutes. It sounded like a superpower. Even today, if I ask you to do it, it will sound like a superpower to you. But if you have a bulldozer, you can actually do it within 5 minutes, is it not? So all of us, we should not underestimate the capability we have as engineers to design new stuff. So don't negate ideas that, oh, this is off the wall, this is simply not possible, or this is not happening. We should not negate such things. And this exercise actually helps you do that. It helps you drop your cynicism and still keep ideas on the table which a superhero could think of. And then you think of technology and products to make it happen. Are you able to see this? Any questions, any ideas, suggestions? Okay, now what I would want is that each breakout room, we had 9 breakout rooms, each breakout rooms just lists down or speaks out 2 or 3 ideas that you think are promising product ideas or stuff like that. Please unmute and speak. The scribes can do that. The scribes can unmute and speak. Just 2 or 3 ideas. So room number 1.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're thinking is our problem statement was visibility of jobs in hyperlocal cities. So what we were thinking is key language would be the biggest barrier here, whether it comes to training or whether it comes to even the understanding of the opportunities है क्या, resources available है क्या. So we were thinking कि जो लोग recruit करेंगे, we would appoint people from those local areas only, and they would further be incentivized for training others for the skill they already have. So an electrician training for electricians, and that person is essentially acquainted with that language also and that skill also.
Okay.
Isme jo yeah.
Great. Any other idea that could be a product or something like that? Because this is a process. This is a
Yeah. So again, this does miss out on the language barrier from our side to that person. It is based on the assumption that wo person will be well versed with the language, both the languages and the skill. So there might be a need for a better translation system, which includes regional languages as well, not just the mainstream dialects. So yeah.
Okay. So possibly an AI-based system which would learn the local dialect and do something like that. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Pragya. Rule number 2.
Yeah, a couple of them. One was portable yet strong drones powered by AI that are powerful enough to carry people. And second was construction that accounts for some specific areas where people can go to in case of disaster.
Okay, interesting. Rule number 3.
So our topic was basically the wildlife conservation thing. So basically, what we thought of doing is somewhat likewise for the case of wildfires. So thereon the research can be carried on artificial rain thing. So still many countries are doing research on that. China has made it feasible, but not on a large scale. So even somewhat low cost artificial rains can be some solutions for artificial rains can be used to instantly identify wildfire and just try to demolish that. So secondly, to spread awareness, we can use different apps and connect different peoples locally as well as to basically identify their roles as how can they exactly prevent the wildlife some from likewise this poaching activities and that carried on. We can hire people through that, and we can make them involved in that. Also, sir, low Earth or orbit satellites at low cost and launching it at low cost, so that more on as soon as it initiates the wildfire is initiated, we can just capture it. Likewise, there just initial capturing of a wildfire, so that we can instantly solve that problem. So
Okay.
prevent that from spread.
Great, great. Thank you, Rajat. Room number 4.
Good afternoon, sir. So our topic was women and child safety. So our research topic is surveillance cameras. So like today we have road surveillance cameras, which like captures your number plate and all. So we can like enhance them more and do something like if there is some crime going on or there is some fire. So like fire brigade isn't going to come unless you make a call. So by enhancing them, we can do is we can give an alarm to the fire station so that they can automatically deploy a fire brigade to that place. And
In a way,
same goes for the crime.
intelligent security cameras is
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
talking about.
And like we can
Okay.
further extend them to like drone surveillance also. Like cameras are like stationary. So by sending the drones, deploying them on drones, like we can
Okay.
have a better surveillance.
They can do patrolling and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
initiate action. Okay, great,
Yes, yes.
great, Jaskirat. Thank you. Room number 5.
Yeah, in case of landslides, we can detect weak parts of a mountain beforehand so that potential landslide areas can be predicted. So this can be done by testing, and we can create chambers in flood-prone areas, chambers on roads in flood-prone areas. So that will help in controlling the intensity of damage created by floods. And another, in case of earthquakes, we can use AI-powered drones to help people rescue. So that is one thing we thought of. And when it, so yeah, these were a couple of ideas.
Great. Thank you, Rishabh. Room number 6.
So our topic was protecting stray animals, and we came up with a couple of ideas. Like one is to provide thermo-controlled clothing for pets. Another is to provide publish citywide maps so people could know where the most population of stray animals are to provide them food. Yeah, and another one was that to deploy dogs or any other animals in different type of community-wide services, where it could provide a sense to people that dogs or any other type of animals are a symbol of friendliness, so that they don't to restrict people from harming them.
Okay, great. Thank you, Samyadeep. Room number 6.
I guess we were 6.
Oh, okay. Room number 7.
Hello.
Yes, Aman.
Is that audible?
Yeah.
Actually, I was the actor, but since our scribe had to leave, so I'm giving the reply. So the few ideas. So the problem we identified was homelessness among people. So the actor we chose was Iron Man, and some of the startup ideas and research ideas we came up with were identifying homeless areas using drones. So that is the first, and making portable houses using robots. So that because homeless people are migratory in nature, they need to move from one place to another. So basically using robots to somehow build portable houses for them.
Yeah, so there are 2 ideas: portable houses or self-reconfiguring houses or something like that.
Yeah.
and robots
Using
to
drones to
do the construction. Robots to do the
no,
construction.
identify the homeless areas.
Yeah.
Where
Drones,
where they
that's
live.
third idea. मैं तो जो आपने कहा robots, portable houses using robots, I'm splitting that into two ideas, two independent ideas there. Okay, great. Thank you, Aman. Room number 8.
Hi. So we worked on the problem of pollution, and the ideas which we listed were making some value-added products from the stubble without burning it. Another was making the villages near, the farms self-sustainable through this energy. Create a kind of chamber where you can put stable at one end and you can get energy while after burning it. The third one was the decomposition techniques, use them as fertilizers or soil enhancers. The next one was related to a teaching technique, where you can ask farmers to abolish the mindset of stubble burning. The next one was related to cars, particularly through like pollution through cars, and where we can have some cleaner fuels, hydrogen or electric cars.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rachit. 9.
Hello, sir. So our idea was problem statement was leakage of privacy in our daily life. So what happens is whenever we install a third-party application or any application, we don't really bother to read out the privacy policy of the application, and we give all the permissions, and this is how we end up exposing a lot of data that we sometimes that may become dangerous for us. So the product that we arrived was an AI-based application which will read out the entire long and twisted privacy policy, and it will tell in short what data are we sharing through this application, how risky is it, as it will differentiate the data as low, medium and high risk level data, and it will give out a scale. I mean around 1 to 10, how risky is it if we are going to use
Very
this
interesting.
particular application.
Very interesting
It will
product.
also analyze users feedback and the application history, which will help any user for using any.
Wow, very good. Great. So, friends, you saw that this half an hour, 1 hour, half an hour to 45 minutes brainstorm session actually led you to some interesting ideas. I would say refine these ideas and post these ideas. Post your conversations on the Google Classroom. Amir will create something so that you can post it there. And before tomorrow's class, it would be good if you can just read through the conversations, all the conversations that have been had in the various rooms there, so that tomorrow when we finally form project teams, you are in a comfortable situation and you are able to influence the decisions that your team makes. Okay, so all the best, guys. See you tomorrow. And if someone wants to join the office hours, my office hours would start in another 25 minutes, 3:30. Okay, the link is on the classroom itself. All the best. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.